Okay, all right, here we are. Pushback Livestream episode numero dos. How's everybody doing? Hello, pony boys and pony girls. I hope you're here to pony up with your questions today. Let's see. Looks like we have 0 viewers. Well, that's okay. No problemo. I'm not surprised. Anyway, maybe some people will come in and ask some questions. Last week, a couple of the questions were, what do you think about this coin? Or what do you think about that coin? I really prefer, those aren't my favorite kind of questions. If somebody asks that, I think what we'll do next time is we'll just, if I don't know a lot about it, we'll research it right here live and walk you through the process of how I would look into a coin and decide if it's something I would put money into or not. So, I got plenty of things that we can talk about. I have some things in mind already that I wanted to share with you. Last week I said that we would do a giveaway. The problem is nobody followed the instructions to comment below the video, not in the live chat area, but below the video, except for my wife and one other guy who came in after the live stream had already aired. Plus, you know, when we only had 9 people coming in for a live stream, it doesn't make a lot of sense to give away $100. So what I think we'll do is, I think I'm going to come up with a Gleam campaign. I had one idea to do $20 giveaway if we get 20 likes on the video, and you have to actually comment or ask your question below the video. And what I would really like people to do is ask a question that I can answer on the next week's live stream and then draw a winner on the next week's live stream. So that's one idea. Another idea is to do one big giveaway for shares and likes and follows and all that on Twitter. Maybe bring in some new subscribers. I can give away an NFT or something on New Year's. Since, we need to build the channel up a little bit. That might be one way to do it. So let me know what you think is a better idea to do weekly smaller giveaways, and then maybe as we grow we can do bigger ones. Or just do one big Gleam campaign with a bigger New Year's price. I think that sounds a little bit funner myself. Okay, so let me find. Sorry, I gotta find my. There it is. My viewer. There we go. Okay, so at any time in this live stream, if you have questions, go ahead and just post them in the chat box, and I'll get to them while we can. Until then, I'll just, I have plenty of things to yak about. So I'll go ahead and get started on that. I am going to sneeze. Whew. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, I thought might be of value for some crypto noobs, is how do I check my portfolio through the day? So there's a few different ways you can do that. Of course, you can come on to TradingView, and I have some different lists of coins that I watch, some different watch lists, and then my wife has one as well. And what we do is, you can just scroll through and you can see the percentage changes here in the last 24 hours. Or I think I'm pretty sure that's only for last 24 hours. It doesn't go by whatever time frame you're watching here. But one way that I keep tabs really well is not in my phone. Often, Blockfolio is great or whatever you use, but oftentimes they'll show a coin pumping and it's not pumping. It's like getting an APY read that's hokey and it's not accurate. So, that can happen on CoinGecko too, but here's my watch list. These are coins that I watch. I do not hold all of these coins. They're coins, I hold a lot of them. I like to watch these, or they're maybe a coin I used to have and I'm just curious to see how it develops. I decided to sell it and I want to see what happens with it in the future. Or there's something that I might be looking for a good entry on. So what I like to do every day, multiple times, is come in here and refresh the page. So you can create your own watch list on CoinGecko. You can do it on CoinMarketCap, or there's an app called CoinStats that you pay for that you can do it on as well. And what I do is I come in and wait for it to load. My computer is loading a little bit slower because of the live stream. Pretty soon I'll be getting a new one. but my computer is a laptop from 2013, and I was ready to get a new one, but Apple has these new M2 chips coming out any month now, and so I'm holding off until that comes out. And once I get one of those, I will have something a little bit more that works a little bit smoother for these live streams. Okay, so I come in and I click on this 24-hour, and this is showing me, it will show me the best performers. It gives me my top performer in the last 24 hours, which right now is Theta. Whoops, I hit it twice. So my worst performer, wait, what's it doing? That's weird. That doesn't even make sense. Okay, the page is having trouble loading. So you get the idea. It'll show you, but I do need to get it back so I can explain a couple things. Just give it a second here. Okay, there we go. So my best performing coin in my watch list is Good Bridging. You can see here that it's had a big hour. So 12% of this 48% run, it's still hot right now. It's still happening. It's in the midst of happening. It could peak out any minute, but it's had a really good week. But half of this weekly, more than half of this weekly drive has happened today. And 25% of what happened today happened in this hour. So this thing is on a tear, right? And I would guess by this chart, it's happened in the last 4 hours, right, of this day. So, and then the next best performer in the previous day is 40% climate. We talked about that last week with the crazy high APYs, and just it was 2 or 3 days ago. It actually, I think it was yesterday or a day and a half ago. It took a big dive from, it was up to as much as $3,500. Now it's hanging out just over 2, but it looks like it bounced off a support base around $2,000. There was, when I saw that happen, I actually said to a friend who's also in climb, I said, this is almost in the top 100 market cap. It could retrace a bit, because the thing is it had no market cap, and that made me think that it was a very low market cap, like $10 million or less. But the thing is, you got to be careful with that, because it didn't have the data to populate a market cap. It didn't know, CoinGecko did not know how many coins were in circulation. But once it got a read on that data, or that data was released to CoinGecko, then it showed that this thing had already majorly pumped from pre-sale prices and was nearing the top 100 coins. This same kind of thing happened earlier in the year with Super Farm. And a lot of times when a coin is brand new and hype like that, and it jumps right into the top 100, you should be very careful about holding on to that, because no matter how good the project is, no matter how amazing it is, the coin ecosystem is not ready for a valuation like that, and you'll get a pullback. And I'm not saying that climb is not going to go back up. I think it is. It's a fork of OHM, but with it has a carbon credit backing. So it's a very unique project, and OHM has very, let's say, kind of famous economics. A lot of people in the crypto space and that are in DeFi are very impressed with what Olympus DAO has done with their economics and their treasury and everything. You can look more into that later. I recommend it. But anyways, so we bounced back off of this bottom 40%. So if somebody had waited and bought this dip, they'd be doing really good right now. Right now, I'm just earning a 34% APY and waiting for it to come back up to my price. And then I'll be sitting pretty, right? Because I'm earning a lot of those coins every day just by holding them in the single-sided staking pool with no risk of impermanent loss. So, these coins have the auto compounders, and they compound multiple times a year. So there's other projects I suggest you look into, like Abracadabra.money and Time. I just read an article by the Defiant today that was talking about Abracadabra.money. And what they're going to do, they've partnered with Terra Luna, and they're going to take UST. If you stake UST on Abracadabra.money, It goes and gets the 20% APY that's earned from Anchor Protocol and auto compounds it. Then you can borrow 90% against that collateral that you staked as a stable coin, and you've used leverage. So you use leverage on a stable coin, so your risk is minimized because it's a stable coin. Of course, anything can happen and it can go wild and you can get liquidated, but the risk is much lower than in any other coin because it's a stable coin, right? So you borrow 90% against that, then you put it into that same pool, and you increase the amount that you're auto compounding with leverage. Then you borrow against it again another 90%, and you do that as many times as you would like, as is possible with the whatever amount you have in there. So that's something you might want to check out. That product's not launched yet, but it's coming very soon. Something that I'm gonna try. So, anyways, what I'll also do is I'll check. If you check all if you check one, you can get an idea of where you're at right now. But I like to check all three and get an idea of what this coin is doing right now relative to the rest of the week, relative to the other coins that may be performing strong through the week, and what's happening right now in the hour. So every 2 hours or so, I'll come in and I'll hit this 1 hour button, and then probably check the other ones. My top performer for the week is Kaleo. I actually took profits on that, and I left some in. I had a good chunk of change in that one. So, and I was, I actually bought it the first minute it went public, and it pumped up within seconds, and I could have taken a huge profit, but I hesitated, didn't push the button, and then it slammed back down. So I was left holding those bags for like the last, I don't know, 4 weeks or so. And finally, I wasn't trading it against USD. I was trading it against Avalanche because that's what I bought it with. And I was in profit, and I took profits out and left some in. And now I'm going up higher. So I'm pretty happy about that. This is a great metaverse project you might want to look into. Okay. So it's doing good. It's still pushing higher. I don't know how high this is going to go when it's want to peak out. Sometimes I would sell my coins when it's pumped like this and then try to rebuy lower. But right now, since I already take profits, I'm going to leave this in and just let it run because so these can go a lot higher than you expect, especially when the market is doing the kind of things it's doing right now. Like ALU. This I doubled my money and I was in at 4 cents. It went to 8 cents and I got out. Mistake. I should have left a moon bag in there, right? Now it's double where I got out at when I had doubled my money. More than double. So there's that. Wild. We're going to talk a little bit about this one today. Wild is going nuts. This is a really awesome metaverse project. So yeah. Basically, and then I would check the 1 hour and I'd see what's my top performer of the hour, and it's climate and good bridging. Okay, I'm glad this is coming back. I just bought a small bag of this. It's I believe like a virtual world RPG type game being built on the Binance chain. I just put some BNB in it, planning to increase my BNB size. Smaller market cap that, 5 million market cap that would pump. And the next day it pumped. I put half a BNB in it. And next day I could have sold it. I would have had like 0.8 BNB. But I waited, got greedy waiting for it to go higher. And then the next day it went down, and it's done nothing ever since but go down. So I've been stuck holding this one. But I think it's going to have a nice run once the microcaps really start taking off. Of course, if Bitcoin doesn't take a dive, which I'm not expecting. I think this was a healthy return to the mean, and really I'm happy that happened because if this would have just kept on going, I mean, we went from, sorry for the lag here, but we went from way down here just pretty much up only. And we've had a 15%, I believe it is, correction here, which is super good. Especially that it came back to the major moving average. Yeah, almost 15%. So that means now we can breathe, the alts can breathe, and we can run without worrying about a huge correction happening immediately. Now it can do, like it did earlier in the year, it can come here and do another 15%er, or it can run harder and later on do a 15% to 30% correction, maybe even 40. So watch out for that because it is Bitcoin, right? Okay, so and the same thing with Dogecoin, you know, this thing got all the way up in the apex. I mean, typically percentage-wise, when a coin gets wound up in the apex, it goes about, statistically speaking, breaks around the 80% mark. But I mean, it's way up in there, like 92% or more. Came out, retested. Then we had the manipulation stop hunt where they dropped the price to liquidate a bunch of longs because at this point everyone thought, you know, we're going up only. So they liquidated some longs, hunted some stops, and now bounced back up. Pretty good reaction there. So that's looking pretty positive. ADA doesn't, it broke down. This is from manipulation. Another return to the mean. We pinged that mean. And sometimes when we come down hard like this, we'll come down one more time because there's still more liquidity down here that they want to hunt before we take off. I'm pretty certain. I picked up some ADA at $2.14. I picked some at around $2, so my average is at $2.07. So I'm having ADA bag at this red line right now, and I'm pretty certain that pretty soon ADA is going to have a really strong run. Okay, so one thing I wanted to mention was if you had charting requests, you can ask me, you can join our Telegram group called Pushback. You can ask me in there if you want me to chart a coin, if you want me to maybe help you out with some targets or some stop loss setting, or you can ask me on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter. If you have questions on there, I'll help you out however I can. Okay, so that's kind of how I mostly track my portfolio. If I'm really invested in day trading, I'll be doing it more here through my lists on the side, but right now I'm mostly following NFTs, so I need to balance my time with being able to track the market quickly and efficiently and still stay on task. So that's why I've been doing it this way. So there's different methods you can use. All right, so another, let's see if we, I got a bless you from my wife. Bless you, huh? Okay, so another tip for noobs that we'll talk about today. Let me see, what was it? Oh, I wanted to share about Discord. So, because NFTs have been super hot this year, and all the groups are trying to get people to come into their Discord. So I wanted to just share a couple tips about how I organize my Discord, because when you're following all these different NFT groups, it can get really, really crazy, right? So you can organize them in folders like this, and I'll just share, you can organize it however you want, but I'll share how I do it because it's helped me a lot. So in this folder is where I follow projects or groups that are talking about NFTs or analyzing them, or they're talking about new projects that are coming up, and you can find new NFT projects and stuff. So, you know, MATIC, they're at the center of everything NFT, and they're a project that I actually hold some of their NFTs as well. So that's what I do in this folder, and I can come through and I can check, you know, the red marks for chats to see what announcements there are or giveaways. Because there's one thing about NFT giveaways is you might win. I've only won one so far, but you might win, but you need to, I have won a couple whitelists also, but you need to check, because if you don't claim, if they announce you as a winner and you don't claim it within like usually 24 hours, sometimes even less, sometimes it's 48 hours, they'll draw another winner. And it's really impossible to remember, you know, how many things you were in giveaways in. So this is, if you stay organized, you can do it. And then I also, what I started doing is using a Google Calendar to mark off when, you know, different giveaways are happening, or when a project is launching, it's mint, or there's an event coming up. So that way I can track what's going on a lot easier. in the NFT space, right? Okay, so and this one is just, this is 2 projects that I won a mint pass, a pre-sale mint in, but you know, they haven't launched yet, so I'm waiting for it to come up. CamFam has some really amazing art. Pixel Pops, they're really small. I don't know if they're going to catch on or not. It's an interesting and fun concept. But they are using a little bit too much like swear words in there and stuff, which I don't care for too much. But this is projects where I hold NFTs in, and have some of my favorites would be the Boss Logic Gauntlets in the Blue Universe, the Metaverse project, and they're partnered with Wilder World. I just bought some of their cars yesterday and today. They're really super cool, high quality project. Here's some of their cars they're releasing, and they have like classic muscle cars and you know, like racing cars and super fast, like, you know, Too Fast, Too Furious type street cars that are rare with their own design that actually have, well, you know, you'll drive them in their metaverse. A lot of metaverses have teleportation and stuff like that, but they're going to have, to get around, you have to actually have a vehicle or walk, or maybe they'll have public transportation. In one chat, I heard them talking about possibly having horses or something. So if you go in here, you can see them also on their website. They have a really, really beautiful website. You'll click on wheels. You can go into the market. You can find one for sale. On their website, they sell them in their wild token. On OpenSea, you can find them for sale with Ethereum. Right? So if you blow this up and you look at these close up, the designs are just incredible. The detail and how realistic it looks. So their whole metaverse world is going to have this really kind of, they're going to use Unreal Engine. So I think it's just going to be absolutely amazing. Why this project isn't bigger yet? This is like an early gem that hasn't really caught on. That I think is going to be, has the potential to be huge, like crazy huge. Anyway, I think the designing, the 3D designing, is just absolutely beautiful, and they're, you know, trying to build them so that the driving experience is as realistic as possible. Something really neat that you might want to check out. So I organized this folder with NFTs that I actually hold. This folder is NFTs that I'm working hard to try to get a whitelist spot in. Some of them, this one's going to be super difficult. You have to hold a MATIC 2 and you can get one, or if you hold one of their early NFTs, you can get one. I don't have either, and the MATIC 2 is like 7 Ethereum right now, so I'm not buying one of those. Thor guards, they have a thing going on right now with an Easter egg hunt where I think they're giving away 50 pre-mint passes. And I'm going to try to do that. And they also have another thing where if you tweet an infographic or a meme telling people what NFTs are, and you use their NFTs in it, you can win one that way as well. So I'm going to try to do both of those. Maybe I can win a couple. But this, you know, is with the Thorchain ecosystem, which I'm a huge fan of. So I really hope I can get a pre-mint pass to mint some of those. That's what, you know, the best way to make money in NFTs and long-term hodl them is to mint a few of them, and you can sell a couple and hold one that you really like for the long term, and you can get access to, you know, their future specials and whatnot. So this folder is ones that I'm hoping to get a pre-sale mint pass in. My next folder is ones that are already live, but I don't own one, and I would really like to get one of. Before the big NFT craze, there's a few I was looking at, like the Doge Pound, Sup Ducks, and even Cool Cats, and I seriously thought about buying one, and I didn't, and I could have ended up making, you know, good money on that. But so those are ones that I'm hoping to buy in the future. and then I have some other categorizations down here. These are Loot Universe projects, derivatives, and stuff. I'm studying those because I'm planning to build something kind of similar but very different at the same time. So that's how I organize. And, you know, down here I have different projects that I need to pop in and check in on once in a while. So that's how I organize my Discord for following NFTs, and it just makes everything much, you know, more streamlined, of course. So, so that's a couple alpha tips. I also wanted to talk about a few projects that I invested in this week. Like I said, I put some money in ADA because I think ADA is really about to take off. Take some percentage gains from that and then put it into a smaller cap. Then Gods. This is the token for the Gods Unchained trading card game, which is similar to like Hearthstone or Magic, but it's all your cards or NFTs that you provably own on the blockchain. They just released a token, so this is brand new, brand spanking new. So I picked up a small bag of that. You might want to look into that. And I dollar cost average. I put some of my farming rewards into Clima because it took a big dip, so I bought that dip just as a dollar cost average, and I'll be doing that every day for a while, taking a portion of my farming rewards from smaller coins with smaller caps that are more risky, putting a portion of that into Clima. Not saying that Clima is not risky, it's very risky, but that's something that I'll take it and put it in something like Sushi Swap. But right now, because of the APY on Clima, I decided to take a chance. And, you know, for a week or so, I'll be putting farming rewards into that. And then I'll find something else that I want to start putting them into. And also, one that I recommend that my nose is itching, you might want to check out, is Power Trade Fuel. They have a $7 million, when I bought it, it was about a $5.5 million market cap. That Martini guy was hinting, well, he wasn't hinting, he mentioned this coin briefly and then put like a teaser clue on Twitter, not telling people what it was because he didn't want to pump it like that. And I did a research. It took me about an hour to figure it out, actually, but figured out this was the coin he was talking about. He said that TikTok uses it to trade. So it's a phone trading app with futures trading and options in your phone. It's supposed to be a big emphasis on user friendliness. Very small market cap. It has Pantera or one of the VC investors in it. So something you might want to check out. I don't recommend putting a huge allocation of your portfolio on it, but a smaller percentage, and the upside potential on that is huge. So I think we're going to call it good because no one seems to be watching. That's okay. Dropped you some alpha this week. We'll see you next week. Like I said, if you have chart requests or other questions, come into our pushback group on Telegram. Soon we'll have a Discord going. Also, I'm working on a Google Slides that you can go through and find a list of a whole bunch of different recommended resources. This is going to be very valuable. I haven't had a chance to finish it up, but when I do, it'll be a really good place to bookmark for if you ever need to find tools or something helpful in crypto. So still working on that. That'll be coming soon, and I will have a Discord group started soon. You can come in and ask questions there, or if you have chart requests or whatnot. And then, yeah, remember, we'll have a giveaway coming up. So if you have any questions, just write them below this video, and I'll make a note of those, and I'll have them ready for next week's video. Okay? God bless everybody, and we'll see you next time.